Today I'm just going to talk about what we do if somebody has sadly passed away. So we deal with other scenarios, but for today the scenario is if somebody sadly has passed away. So the loved ones, if they have loved ones or friends, family, or sometimes the solicitor that's been left as the executor will contact us and ask us to help deal with the estate. So by that we mean several things. If there's a property that needs valuing, so say the person lived in a property that they own, we need to get a couple of types of valuations if it's going to go to probate. So we need to get a valuation of the estate. So if we need to get a property valuation, sort of what we call a red book valuation, we will go to a local surveyor. We recommend a couple of local surveyors that we've worked with for a long time. So they will go in and do the formal valuation. That way we can't be deemed as being biased either, so we keep it nice and clean. So they go and do that one, and we will go and do what's called a marketing valuation. So if we were to market the property, what price that would go on sale at. We also go into the property and do an assessment as to the contents. So we work with the family. There's going to be stuff in the property that there'll be stuff in the property they want to take, maybe sentimental items, sometimes useful items. They might have friends and family that would like stuff out of the property. So we work with them to assist them in taking those pieces first. Then we do an assessment of the property. Sometimes the property will have stuff in it that's just not really going to be of use to anybody, lots of rubbish. So that we would clear. If there's clothes in the property that can be reworn, but not say vintage, so if it's just high street clothing, we would send that to the charity shop. If it was something that was vintage, it would come into our shop, Attik and Cellar. We would then sell those clothing, and we would split that money with the estate. The same goes for furniture. If it's just usual furniture, then it would go to charity. If it's retro or vintage or a bit quirky, again it will come to the shop and we will split the money with the estate, whoever that may be. Something a little different that we do at Attik as well is, on the occasion that we go into a property and my hairs on my arms literally stand up and the whole property is bursting with quirky items, then we hold an in-house sale before we split the stuff between charity and our shop, and we will run an event where we ask local people who live in the area, we ask traders, other vintage traders, other antique traders, say there's a lot of camera equipment or stamps or whatever it might be. If we know people that trade in those things, we'll ask them to come along and we'll hold a sale. We then split the money between us for obviously it takes a long time to organise that, and we have to make the house almost look like a shop. We split the money between a fee that we'll take and then the rest of the money. So this is the interesting thing, that if somebody's passed away and they've got a charity that they were affiliated to or feel passionately about, we can then make sure that the money from that sale goes to that charity. When we do the usual clearance, there's not always a charity shop set up in aid of the charity that they would like to benefit. So we did one over in Melbarton recently. The lady that had passed away, her charity, she was wildlife mad, so the charity that she wanted money to go to where possible was How Hill. So we haven't added it all up yet because we've still got some money coming in from that sale, but we've raised several £100s to go to How Hill for her charity. We've then brought some stuff back to the shop that will sell over time, and then other items have gone over to Age UK. So Age UK have come with a van and taken the rest of the stuff. So where possible, we make sure that local charities do benefit from the contents of the property. Once we've done the clearance via whichever route we've just spoken about we would do, we try and leave some items in situ in the property to kind of stage the property for sale. If people go into an empty property, it can feel cold, it can feel unloved, it can feel just not very homely. So we stage the property usually with items that are already in the house, but we can mix and match stuff out of our, we have a storeroom with furniture that we use to stage properties as well. So we then stage it and then market the property. We do it in this process as well to get the best possible price for our vendor, be it friends or family, whoever's going to benefit from the estate. We want to do our best by them, and also we want to do the best by the person who has passed on, because that was their home, where they loved, where they lived. So we want to do right by them and present their property in the best way we can for them. So in essence, we clear it through whichever medium is the best one for that property. We then, after we've cleared it, we stage it and clean it up, so it's staged and cleaned, and then we sell it. And throughout all of this, we treat all of the people in that process with the most utmost respect that we can throughout that time. And by having that one point of contact as well really does help with the person who is going through that bereavement. Or even sometimes people get left properties, they didn't even know the person that well. If they didn't have immediate family, that can be quite distressing as well, because they don't know what to do with all this stuff. They don't know where to send it, and everyone's so busy in this day and age, they don't have time to go through it as meticulous as we do to make sure that it all goes to new homes that are going to love it and look after it, and we just recycle as much stuff as we can. So that's a bit of a snippet into what we do. If you know anybody, any friends and family that have lost a loved one recently and they just don't know where to start, give them our number. You can tell we're really down to earth, caring people that are here to help them. So they don't need to go through this alone. We are here to help. So yeah, give us a call and we'll go from there. Thanks.